Hey, my wonderful, wonderful, beautiful, beautiful people. A pleasant afternoon to you. So wonderful people. I was on some lives and some interesting topics came to the fore. And the reason why I'm bringing it up, because it probably can save a relationship or two. You know, we're living in the days, gone are the days when people would hold on, hold strain, you know, and hold steadfast to their marriages despite the different challenges. And notwithstanding, I would never in any way, shape or form tell anyone to stay through any abuse or, you know, extreme narcissism. You know, I mean, narcissism in and of itself is extreme and acute, but, you know, and when the individual is rebellious, meaning the individual decides that he or she will not change to suit, will not become a better human being so that they can be better for God and for people and for themselves. No, I would never tell anyone to stay in a relationship like that, because it would be foolhardy and it proves fruitless in the long run, and it would be a waste of years. However, because we are flawed beings, because this flesh is weak, it doesn't matter who the individual is or the people are, we will always make mistakes. It is just that the ones who are maybe decent and with integrity and wholesome and whole will say, you know what, I'm going to arduously, intentionally, deliberately work on myself to become a better human being. Whatever working on myself entails, I'm going to do that. And with that reality, my beauty, my wonderful people, I want to say something to our men. And I'm not somebody who targets men. I'm not a misandrist, no. Because there are videos that I do that will chide women as well. So I try to keep the playing field level. But because of what the topic spoke on, and it came up again and again, I said, you know what, let me address this. First, let me address the very shallow, baseless, weightless men who will knowingly get into a fake relationship with a woman just to have sex with her and then leave, demit office, resign, not be fired. I want you to know this though. If truly, and she's not saying it out of spite or hurt, but if truly someone were to interview her, let us say she's healed and she's whole after you've broken her heart, and somebody asks you, but you know, at the very least, how was the sexual encounter? And she's being honest, she will tell you either 10 out of 10 times or 9. All right, let me not be so hard. 8 out of 10 times, you never allowed her. She was unable to reach her high point, her climatic point. So you never caused her to climax. So even though you may think you are slick and sly, you know, a very cunning one, just know that you never caused her to reach her high point. So checkmate to you. Checkmate to you. All right. And I want to also address it. I want to expand it to relationships. I have heard married women saying that they're married for quite a number of years, and unfortunately their husbands have never caused them to reach their climax, their climatic point. So they've never climaxed during the sexual intercourse. Am I saying that is good? Obviously not. And when I say, am I saying that is good, it's a rhetorical question really, but one that can be answered. I'm saying that it is not good on so many levels, because what has happened is that, unfortunately, maybe because of fear on the woman's part, maybe she fears her husband will not take her suggestions good or her constructive, hopefully constructive criticisms well, she pretends, she fake get into a climax. So the sexual encounter, the process of the sexual encounter, it will be somewhat satisfying, because it's the genital of the man rubbing against the genital of the woman. It is the penis touching the vulva, you know, so, and the clitoris and all of that. So the touching of it will stimulate you know, but in terms of taking her over the threshold, it doesn't necessarily happen. And you know, you men, unfortunately, you can only do one session at a time. You can only do one session at a time. Once you finish with the first session, you have to go on in recess. You have to go in recess. You have to take more than a lunch break. You have to have what is like a siesta break, another hour or two, and sleep that thing off to see if you can rejuvenate again and come back. While the woman, she can go more times, you know, multiple times, and you have not even allowed her to cross over into the threshold, into the promised land, not even once after many years of marriage. It is something that, even for me personally speaking, even if the husband will react badly to it, even if it is not said in the right way, it should be said. There are some things in life that should be said. A big part and parcel of any marriage, any successful marriage, is sex and the satisfying the gratification that both parties get during sex, because it makes no sense. That's a big part. It's a big part of the pie. Communication is key, but sex is also key under the auspices of marriage. Don't make any ghost fool you. It's not just about procreation, because we're sexual beings. We feel the feelings. And men, once you don't feel, let me tell you something, women can know when you've reached your crossover into the threshold. You know, there's a pulsating feeling that comes from your penis. Similarly, you know, with the war in relation to the woman, or vis-a-vis in relation to her, which that's what it means, her vulva or vagina, it has a kind of a pulsating, grabbing effect. Once you cannot feel that, once she doesn't feel it or you feel it, because both people should be able to feel it, in a sense. If you're in tune with each other, then you know that is only one really, and generally it's the man, because of how his body is made, you know, with the testosterone. It comes up and it shoots out, you know, like a cannonball. So generally it's the man that actually climaxes. But if the man doesn't, and that is why a big suggestion to the men, husbands, probably should try and control yourself and allow her to reach her climatic point. If you're in the mode, if she's in a particular mode, if she's in a particular position and she says, don't move because I'm reaching there. No, move your back side. Don't move. Do not move. Unless you're getting some kind of a cramp, husbands, unless you're, you know, it's a cramp I'm looking for, you know, muscle contraction or something like that, and you feel like your C's up, you stiffen up. Outside of that, no move. Turn where you're there. Because it's both parties. Because she's positioning herself generally in different ways for you to be satisfied, not just reach your climatic point. So if the woman tell you, say, no, back foot move, don't move. No move. If she said, this is how I want you to set, or to do this, or to say this, do it. So husbands, it is incumbent upon you, it behooves you to not just put your penis in the vagina, but to ask the holder of the vagina what position or what type of performance is gratifying to you. I don't only want to gratify myself as much as I feel that pressure to do that. I would want to know that my wife is feeling the same way. There are too many unhappy wives after many years of marriage, because you know, the man is not satisfying them, and maybe they're fearful in saying it to you because of how you may react, because of your ego. Some of you react badly, you know, even if she comes and she says, you don't smell right, you don't dress right, I don't like that, you don't bathe, you're nasty and all of that, you take it offensive. When it's your wife, I'm not saying that she must be discourteous and rude and disrespectful, but for your relationship to grow, you have to have tough conversations. And know this, many of you are not satisfying your wives, in church people and people who are not in the church. It's probably predominant in the church, maybe, I don't know. So if you want your marriage to really work and for her to really be happy, ask her questions, probe, get to know her. You know what to do, read TikTok and YouTube, guys.